Today I will be talking about the taxonomic group Subphylum Chelicerata. So what even is the subphylum here we are talking about? The subphylum Chelicerata composes one of the major subdivisions of the phylum Arthropoda and includes horseshoe crabs and arachnins. The three exemplary organisms I will be talking about today are the black widow spider, the emperor scorpion, and the brown dog tick. Major characteristics of the organisms in the taxonomic group consist of the following. Each organism has 6 pairs of appendages, they lack an antennae, they have 4 pairs of walking legs, and their body is divided into an abdomen and a cephalothorax. There are 6 pairs of joined appendages, and the first pair of appendages is modified into fangs. The emperor scorpion is considered to be one of the largest species of scorpions. Its habitat is usually in tropical areas that are located in Africa. The scorpion tends to hide below soil. The scorpion has a sensory detail located on the tail, and the venom inside of them contains toxins. The body of the emperor is black and blue, while their large pincers are normally red. The back tail is long and curves back to the body. This tail has a curved stinger at the end. The brown dog tick lives around the world in wooded bushy areas. The tick's sensory is a sensory organ in the legs that detects unhealthy blood. There are 8 legs, and when not used, 2 are folded against the body. The female tick reproduces and dies after depositing the eggs. The brown dog tick does not contain any venom. The black widow spider lives in temperate regions around the world, usually in dark areas close to the ground. The spider's body is shiny black with a red hourglass on the back. Unlike other spiders, the eyes are not goo, and the eyesight depends on the variations of web to sense danger. The black widow is venomous that can be extremely harmful to humans. These organisms are all different because they each live in a diverse habitat and have unique differences in how they live. For example, their venom or sensory can give them an advantage. This phylogenetic tree is based on the anatomy of all arachnins in all of the classes of this subphylum. The taxonomy for the emperor scorpion is the following. The taxonomy for the brown dog tick is the following. The taxonomy for the black widow spider is the following. Taxonomy can show that different species are related in some way. This supports the idea of descent with modification. After finding similarities, data such as the fossil record can be used to indicate the length of time since 2 species diverged from a common ancestor. For example, if you look at the brown dog tick and compare the taxonomy to the emperor scorpion, you can see that they are related by having the same kingdom, phylum, and class. From that you know that these 2 organisms are related but different. And it also proves Darwin's theories that all organisms are related. During the process of reproduction, unfertilized eggs of scorpions develop into embryos. It reaches maturity when the scorpion is molded for the last time. The now mature scorpion begins the process, and it continuously cycles like so. The scorpion goes through a more complicated process. There are 3 stages. There is the embryonic stage, where the egg is fertilized and it starts to shape like a spider. Stage 2 is the larval state, where the almost shaped spider starts feeding on its yolk supply. This is where the spiders start to get their unique phenotype. Then the spider reaches the last stage, which is divided into the nymph and adult stage. Darwin's first theory explains that all species formed and evolved from one ancestral species. This can be proved through embryology with arachnids as well as other species. Many species tend to look the same and possess the same characteristics when they are in the early stages of embryology. As they begin to grow, they start to lose some of the features that they all shared and to attend to the population needs. And the embryology provided all parts of the embryology look similar and have similar characteristics, only further proving Darwin's theory. The anatomy of all arachnids contain the lack of an antennae, simple eyes, 8-jointed legs, no wings, exoskeleton, and segmented bodies. The physiology for all arachnids contain the coxoblin's empty gut. The heart is located in the front abdomen and has digestive gland to store and digest, and the circulatory system. These are just a few things that are all in common in all arachnids. This picture represents the difference in DNA and RNA within a spider. This difference between the DNA in the spiders on the left and right affects the main traits, such as legs, the length, and the number of extrasensory appendices. This example supports Darwin's theories of natural selection because DNA and RNA is altered and coded differently based on the environments of each spider. Arachnids have 4 or more sex cells. Female spiders have 4 sex cells. Male spiders have 6 sex hormones, which differs from the rest of the arachnids. Gradualism is the idea that a species evolves by small incremental steps accumulated over many generations. Over time, scorpions grew a longer tail that would be more efficient when hunting for food. Convergent evolution occurred when 2 different spiders' populations were destroyed and they stuck together. Both spiders developed a similar trait of the process of making their web, so they could survive in their new environment. Isolation occurred with the sand scorpion population. The sand scorpion population structure can be described as one with gene flow among populations in the middle of the range and increased isolation along the range boundaries. It is also possible that the isolation has not existed long enough to differentiate the populations to a greater extent. Artificial selection occurred when a scientist used many different ticks to come up with a medicine for pets. Darwin's theories of descent with modification can be proven by this taxonomic group. Gradualism is the idea that a species evolves by small incremental steps accumulated over many generations. Over time, scorpions grew a longer tail that would be more efficient when hunting for food. The taxonomy of each exemplary organism shows the similarities between each organism, and that proves Darwin's theories of all organisms being related in some way. The second theory of evolution that Darwin realized was that not every individual can survive. Some must die to maintain the balance in the environment. More organisms are brought into the world that can possibly survive because of restrictions in different environments, such as food, space, and other things that they compete for. Creating some species that can possibly survive can increase or decrease the survival rate. This can be proved in arachnids, especially in scorpions. Not all scorpions could be surviving underwater, and they had to move onto land. Some had to die and some had to evolve. They most likely evolved from in the water to onto land because of the many problems and predators they dealt with in the ocean. And that's a wrap. Thank you for giving your attention. These are a few websites I used for my project.